This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 1789. 4 Things That Can Derail Your Retirement Plans by Ballew of EggStack.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This is actually one of multiple shows in our network covering different topics like personal development, health, and relationships. So if you like narration-style podcasts, be sure to search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this, and check out our other shows. But for now, let's get right to it and continue optimizing your life. 4 Things That Can Derail Your Retirement Plans by Ballew of EggStack.com. Life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans can go astray. If you want to improve the odds of a successful retirement, you need to consider the risks along the way. Here are 4 things that can derail your retirement plans. Number 1, health issues. When things are going well, it's human nature to believe everything will stay that way. Unfortunately, sometimes our bodies have other plans. Even if your job's only physical requirement is that you sit behind a desk, health issues can prevent you from working. A recent study found that 30% of Americans plan to work beyond age 65. If you're one of them, you need to consider the possibility that you might not be able to do that. In fact, almost half of all current retirees were forced to retire earlier than planned due to unforeseen circumstances such as health issues. An unexpected end to your working days can stem from your declining health or that of your spouse or partner. Your significant other could experience health issues to the extent that you have to retire early to become their caregiver. Think about it. If your spouse or partner is forced to retire early and you quit your job to become their caregiver, that's a financial double whammy. Many employers offer disability insurance designed to replace some or all of your income in the event you become disabled. There's something else you can do to help mitigate this risk. Stay healthy. You have tremendous influence over your health. Regular exercise and eating right goes a long way towards keeping your body fit and healthy. Avoid unhealthy lifestyle choices like overeating, inactivity, smoking, and alcohol abuse. Number 2, job loss. Another life event that can derail your retirement plans is a job loss. Besides the obvious loss of income, you also stop contributing to your 401k and lose any employer match. If it takes a long time for you to secure another position, the bills will start piling up. You might be forced to take out a 401k loan, or worse, make an early withdrawal. When you withdraw funds from a tax-deferred retirement account, such as a 401k, the amount is taxed as ordinary income. In addition, if you're under 59 and a half years of age, a 10% penalty tax is assessed. While you're repaying the loan, which can take years, you're most likely not making any contributions or receiving any employer match. At best, it's not helpful. At worst, it's a knockout blow that you will never recover from. There are 2 approaches to minimize your risk that a job loss will derail your retirement plans. First, have an emergency fund. Depending on how employable you are, you should have between 1 and 6 months' salary in savings. Having those funds available can be the difference between being able to pay your bills or having to rob your retirement savings. Second, maintain a social network. Within your chosen field, make it a point to attend professional society meetings, seminars, and other networking opportunities. Develop new business relationships and keep up with old colleagues. It's the best way to ensure that you'll be able to find a new position should the need ever arise. Number 3, failure to launch adult children. The biggest reason Americans fail to adequately save for retirement is failure to launch adult children. Instead of saving for retirement, too many parents are providing financial support for adult children who are perfectly capable of supporting themselves. It's not selfish to stash your hard-earned cash into a retirement account instead of handing it over to your 30-something offspring. You'll be doing both of you a favor by telling them to step away from the video game and go get a job. And number 4, loss of a spouse or partner. Whether by death or divorce, the loss of a spouse or partner can have a negative effect on your retirement plans. Setting aside the obvious emotional devastation, the financial impact can be significant. If it's a divorce that makes you suddenly single, depending on your situation, you may be liable for alimony and/or child support. Huge payments like these make it almost impossible to save for retirement. That's why if you get married later in life, it's important to have a prenuptial agreement. It can be as simple as agreeing that if you ever divorce, both parties will return to their premarital financial state plus or minus an even split of any change in net worth that occurred over the course of the marriage. It's not romantic, but neither is having nothing but Social Security to retire on because you let somebody run off with your life savings. Social Security was never meant to be a retiree's sole source of income, and it is woefully inadequate to sustain the typical American lifestyle. If the loss of a spouse is due to their passing, Social Security defaults to the higher of your two benefits. That sounds good on paper, but if you think about it, you're still losing out. Before, you had one big check and one smaller check. Now you have one big check and no smaller check. You're down one whole check. Conclusion. Retirement planning is about planning. It's even in the name. But saving for retirement and having a decent plan is not enough. You need to consider these risks and any others that might apply to your particular situation. Things do not always go as planned. You will benefit greatly by considering these potential risks and having a contingency plan in place to deal with them. You just listened to the post titled 4 Things That Can Derail Your Retirement Plans by Mike Ballew of EggStack.com. Let's face it, the work world looks different than it ever has. Whether you're in person, remote, or somewhere in between, taking care of your team couldn't be more important. That's where Gusto comes in. Gusto's modern HR platform makes it easy to hire, pay, manage, and support your employees, all in one system of record. That means no more jumping between applications and no more jumping through hoops. Your payroll, benefits, hiring, and onboarding, team management tools, and so much more are in one convenient place. On top of that, Gusto provides actionable insights to inform decisions around workforce costing, competitive compensation, and employee engagement. So all those tough decisions you make each day just got a whole lot easier. Our team here has been using Gusto for years and have no plans to change. The best part? Listeners of OFD get 3 months of Gusto for free at gusto.com/OFD. That's right. If you're ready to experience a new bar for HR, get 3 months free at gusto.com/OFD. I think this article did a good job of outlining some of the potential obstacles to retirement without too much fear-mongering. The reality is, life will throw us obstacles, and we should be prepared as possible. But it will also throw us opportunities. And I believe financial stability helps us seize the opportunities just as much as it helps us navigate the obstacles. Sometimes what appears to be an obstacle is actually an opportunity in disguise. I expected to keep my W-2 job until I reached financial independence, which I was projected to hit at 40 years old. But life threw me an obstacle in the form of a new boss that made my W-2 job intolerable. In retrospect, this was actually an opportunity. My circumstances forced me to explore self-employment, which has led me to enjoy all of the benefits of a financially independent life without actually being financially independent. My financial runway in the form of my emergency/opportunity fund, my Coast-Fi status, and my ridiculously low expenses has allowed me to create a work situation that I feel no need to retire from. For many things on this list, I think it's super important to focus on the things you can control and not worry about the rest. You can't control a job loss, but you can be ready with an emergency fund and establish side hustles for other sources of income. You can't control if you're in a tragic accident tomorrow or if you develop cancer at some point. but you can control your health insurance coverage and how you take care of your body. You can't control if your children fail to launch, even if you are the best parent in the world. But you can maintain your boundaries and allow your children to learn how to be independent on their own terms. You can't control the death of a spouse or the death of a marriage, but you can do proper estate planning and get insurance in the form of a prenup to soften the blow. So much of life is beyond our control, but that doesn't mean we're powerless. That should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll see you on the Wednesday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.